Hey gang, David Guppel, Thinker Farmer here. We're kind of doing a video series with Grant at his farm, local cooling farm. And on that note, Grant, where can people go to find out more about the farm, website or Instagram?
We've got local cooling farms, Facebook and Instagram, and then our retail store is Laughing Buddha Nursery, Laughing Buddha Market, and that's laughingbuddhanursery.com or Laughing Buddha Nursery on Facebook. So they can find us in either way.
Yep. Good deal.
Yep.
So we're here with a flock of, layers here. You got 400 in here, some different, and that's for your egg laying business.
That's right. Yep.
And then we've also, kind of on the right here, we've got some Kiko, I forget, what's the cross of these goats?
It's like a Kiko boar myotonic feigning. So they're mutt goats.
They're mutt goats.
Yeah, we'll just call them mutts. Yeah, they're all meat breeds though. Yeah,
and you were telling us about training wise, I mean, we haven't talked a huge amount on the property you're on. Tell us a little bit you've purchased a pretty good portion of it, and then you're leasing some land. Tell us kind of the story of the property briefly, and then what you're using the goats for on it.
Yeah, so we started out 7 years ago. We had purchased 16 acres, and then we started leasing the ground that we're on right now, and then we actually just bought the land that we were leasing about 2 years ago. So now we're up to 60 acres owned.
Okay.
We're not leasing any land right now.
Okay.
And so we're in one of the about 9 main paddocks that we have. And so the cattle were grazed in here about 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
The goats are in here right now cleaning up all like the blackberry and the dewberry and kind of like all the weedy stuff.
Camera, follow me over here. I mean, this is, I guarantee you a cow didn't do that.
That's right.
Ripping that off.
Yeah. And so, we're going to be clipping this stuff probably around September, October, when we prepare the fields for ryegrass. We'll clip it, but otherwise, with having the goats, we feel like we don't have to clip it because
absolutely they stripped it.
Yeah, they stripped it, and then so it's a great balance of having the cattle and a small ruminant, either a sheep or a goat. And we've decided to go with the goats.
And then this fall, you said you're going to plant ryegrass. That's annuals for your beef finish.
That's right. So what we're starting to get into our own pattern of clipping late summer, seeding our ryegrass. And again, for everybody's watching, we're in southeastern Louisiana. We're 60 miles north of New Orleans, so we're Gulf Coast.
Yeah.
So we'll seed ryegrass out September or October-ish. We'll start, and now we'll set us up for a really nice winter grazing.
Absolutely.
And then we can graze that ryegrass basically until it seeds out into the spring.
Right.
So that's really setting us up for over the winter, and then we'll actually start buying our stock of beef about January, and so then we'll have the fields ready to go for those for our finishing beef that we brought onto the farm.
Okay.
And so and then the goats are here year round though, and then we do sell the goat meat and stuff. So they are a cleanup crew for us.
Absolutely.
But we do ask for them to kind of pay their own bills.
Absolutely.
And provide, we do retail goat meat sales. And then also we've got the layer flock. So in any given paddock on any given time, we may have the laying flock, and then we may have cattle around them, or we may have goats around them. So we're not doing like a leader or follower model.
Mm-hmm.
We're kind of doing like a racetrack model where everybody's kind of going their own speed. So whatever works. And so some of these fields we may strategically have some of the pigs in it, depending on what we're trying to do. So there's always changing paddocks going on around here. That's for sure. Yeah,
I hear that. What do you do for predator protection with your goats? You were
with the goats. Yeah, we can walk over here if you want. So of course we have, like we talked about in the other video, the farm is surrounded by a 5-strand high tensile hot fence, which really does a good job at keeping out domestic dogs and coyotes and stuff. It does not at all keep out any foxes, and of course those animals can still get through if they were motivated enough. So what we do at nighttime, because we've opted not to use any livestock guardian dogs, just because because we have so many houses where the neighbors have their own dogs right up against the farm. We've kind of chosen not to take the risk of any liability with the.
Absolutely.
And so, so what we do is in this corral, using the goat net fencing that is like really beat up because it's like 7 years old. So anyway, but we set up a corral where we put them up at night. So we do have some feed troughs in there. We supplement them with alfalfa. Chaff hay is the brand. It's a silage, non-GMO alfalfa. So in the evening time, I'll come out, we'll feed them a little bit as a motivation to go into the corral. Their minerals, their 24/7 minerals in there, their water's in there. So during the day, they're going back in here the whole time, getting water and mineral, but we put them up at night. And so we just shut them down, put them up at night, pen them up, and let them out in the day. And then in this field, we're actually about to move them. They've been in here for about 5 days right now, and they've done a pretty good job. So we're ready to move them on down the road. And so we'll just pick up all this stuff up. We'll set up another temporary corral in that paddock, and we just bed them down every night. And the herd is really trained to this. We'll come out in the evening, and they're already in the corral waiting.
Oh man, wait for you to close the gate.
They're ready. They're ready for their evening treat. They're super easy to put up, and it's a model that really works out well for us.
That is great. Do you have to electrify this corral?
We do. Yeah. We don't have it hot typically during the day, but once we shut them up, we make it hot that night. Yep.
That is awesome, Grant. Anything you want to add about the goats or?
No, I think that's it. You know, the small ruminants are they are up front a lot of work. They require a lot of persistence. You really have to, a lot of people say this, you have to cull very hard. You have to select for behavior as well as, different phenotype, things that you're looking to do.
Most people would run if we said the word goat.
Yeah, we have I personally, not speaking for the farm, but for me personally, I have a love-hate relationship with the goats.
I do too.
Yeah, and so right now I'm in a love cycle with the goats. But if you call me in a couple weeks, I may be telling you to come pick them up.
Chilling the relationship down.
That's right. But they are good for the farm, especially in our situation, is because all of these fields that we're on right now, they were row crops for 50 years. So hard clay pan, organic matter just gone, and so weedy fields. They get
a lot of brush coming up.
They get better every year, but we still have a heavy load of plants that the cattle don't want to eat.
Absolutely.
And so for right now, the goats are
they fit your context.
And they're making a living here, and they're paying for themselves. They're not a big, I wouldn't consider them a big profit sector of the farm.
Right.
But with them keeping mowing and clipping down, that's where they really pay for themselves.
Well, with that, gang, I don't know what else to add to that. One day, Grant, I hope I'm buying goat seed stock from you, because
awesome.
you're going to be culling them down the line. I grew up with dairy goats, and we ended up giving up on them. But anyway, gang, there you have it. Goats that are trained. Cameron, would you go the way towards the goats again? Goats that are trained to go into a corral, you don't need a livestock guardian dog. You just need a little bit of ingenuity putting it together. So with that, blessings for the journey, and keep it real.